The distress signal from HFY Prime had been broadcasting for 72 standard hours when it finally reached the Outer Rim monitoring station. The message was simple, desperate, and unprecedented. The HFY, the galaxy's most feared warrior species, were asking for help. Commander Zara Thole of the HFY Death Guard stood in the ruins of what had once been their capital city's command center. Her chitinous exoskeleton evolved over millennia on a world where everything tried to kill everything else, bore fresh scars from the recent battle. Her forearms moved with practiced efficiency as she coordinated the defense of her dying world. The HFY were Deathworlders in the truest sense. Their home planet was a nightmare of toxic storms, predators that could tear through steel, and gravitational anomalies that would crush most species. They had evolved into living weapons 7 feet tall, armored by nature, with reflexes that made them legendary across the galaxy. When other species spoke of the HFY, it was in whispers and with respect born of fear. But now, for the first time in their recorded history, they were losing. Commander, her aide, Warrior Crix, approached with his head bowed in shame. The western defense grid has fallen. The void spawns have broken through the plasma barriers. Zara's mandibles clicked in frustration. The void spawns were creatures from the space between dimensions, beings of pure entropy that consumed matter and energy alike. They had emerged from a rift torn in space-time by an experimental weapon test gone wrong. Now they spread across HFY Prime like a cancer, devouring everything in their path. "Have we received any response to our distress call?" she asked, though she already knew the answer. "The Galactic Council acknowledges receipt of our message," Crix replied. "They are deliberating." Zara's laugh was bitter. The same council that had cowered before HFY expansion for centuries was now taking their time to decide whether to help. The irony was not lost on her. The galaxy's apex predators reduced to begging for scraps from those they had once dominated. A new voice crackled through the communications array. "HFY Prime, this is Captain Sarah Mitchell of the Terran vessel Pandora's Box. We received your distress call." Zara's optical sensors focused on the transmission. Humans, the newest species to achieve faster-than-light travel, barely a century in space. They were considered a minor power at best, physically weak, short-lived, with technology that lagged behind most galactic civilizations. "Human vessel," Zara responded, her voice carrying the weight of command, despite her desperation. "We require immediate military assistance. Our world faces extinction from dimensional parasites." There was a pause before Captain Mitchell responded. "Roger that, Commander. We're not sending aid." Zara's heart sank. Even the humans were abandoning them. "We're sending something else," Mitchell continued. "ET, at 12 minutes. Before Zara could respond, the transmission cut. She looked at Crix, confusion replacing despair. "Something else?" The answer came soon enough. A single ship dropped out of hyperspace above HFY Prime, sleek, black, and impossibly small by galactic standards. It was barely a frigate, no larger than a HFY patrol craft. Zara had seen human ships before. They were typically boxy, functional affairs. This one was different. It moved with a predatory grace that made her warrior instinct scream warnings. "HFY Prime, this is the Pandora's Box," Captain Mitchell's voice returned. "Please evacuate all personnel to a minimum distance of 50 kilometers from the dimensional rift. We're about to commence operations." "Human Captain," Zara transmitted, "your vessel is too small to engage the void spawns effectively. We appreciate the gesture, but—" "Commander," Mitchell's voice cut through her protests. And for the first time, Zara heard something in the human's tone that chilled her. It was the voice of someone who had seen the darkest corners of existence and emerged unchanged. "You don't understand what we are. You see humans as weak because we come from a safe world. You're wrong on both counts. The Pandora's box began to descend toward the dimensional rift. As it moved, sections of its hull began to retract, revealing weaponry unlike anything in the galactic database. The ship's form shifted and changed, mechanical components rearranging themselves with fluid precision. Earth isn't a safe world, Commander, Mitchell continued. It's a death world that learned to hide its teeth. We didn't evolve claws or armor because we didn't need them. We evolved something far more dangerous: imagination paired with absolute ruthlessness when survival is on the line. The Pandora's box reached the rift and did something impossible. Instead of attacking the void spawns, it dove directly into the dimensional tier. Space-time buckled around the ship as it disappeared into the space between spaces. For a moment, silence fell across the battlefield. The void spawns, creatures of pure hunger, paused in their consumption as if sensing a new presence in their realm. Then the screaming began. It wasn't audible sound. The void spawns had no vocal cords, existing as they did between dimensions. But every psychically sensitive being on HFY Prime felt it. The sound of predators encountering something more predatory than themselves. The dimensional rift began to collapse, but not naturally. Something was pulling it closed from the inside, dragging the void spawns back into their realm of non-existence. Through the closing tier, Zara caught glimpses of the Pandora's box, but it was no longer entirely a ship. Parts of it had become organic, grown rather than built. Weapons that fed on the essence of their targets. Hull plating that adapted to every attack. The humans hadn't just sent a ship into the void between dimensions, they had sent something that could survive there, hunt there, and make that realm of entropy its hunting ground. The rift sealed with a sound like reality, sighing in relief. The last of the void spawns were gone, dragged back to their hellish dimension by something that had proven itself their better. The Pandora's box rematerialized in normal space, its hull returning to conventional configurations. Captain Mitchell's voice returned to the communications array, calm and professional, as if nothing extraordinary had occurred. HFY Prime, dimensional incursion, has been neutralized. The rift has been sealed from both sides. You might want to reconsider your experimental weapons testing protocols. Zara stared at the human ship, her warrior's mind struggling to process what she had witnessed. Captain Mitchell. What was that vessel? A pause. Project Pandora, Commander. When humans realized we weren't the only predators in the galaxy, we decided we needed to become better predators. The box isn't just a ship, it's a weapons platform designed to hunt things that can't be killed by conventional means. But why help us? Zara asked. The HFY have been aggressive toward human expansion. Because, Commander, Mitchell's voice carried a note of something that might have been amusement. Predators recognize other predators. And sometimes, the galaxy needs its apex hunters to work together. As the human ship prepared to depart, Zara realized that the galaxy had just learned a terrible truth. The species everyone had dismissed as weak and harmless had been hiding weapons that could hunt nightmares in the space between realities. The humans hadn't sent aid to the Deathworlders. They had sent a reminder that Earth's children were the most dangerous predators of all. They just knew how to smile while they were hunting.